So, hello, my name is Michael Brainin. I'm the president of the World Stroke Organization. And you are asking how the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting stroke care around the world. Well, I must say the effects are huge and have really not been prognosticated by anyone. We were probably among the first to get reports already end of March, beginning of April from around 20 countries showing that stroke care went back into the second row. And due to the effects and the fears of the pandemic, all the resources, or many of the resources for stroke care, went into the emergency ward and the emergency handling of the pandemic cases. And many stroke patients stayed at home because they thought they shouldn't go to the hospital. So we found that about 40% of the stroke care was reduced, and there was a reduction of stroke admissions to the hospitals around the world. Even in some areas, the hospitals it went up to 80%. So we started a campaign now called Don't Stay at Home, and giving the stroke patients the message that stroke must be dealt with on an urgent basis, and they should come to hospital as quickly as possible. Yeah, well, my role within the World Stroke Organization is to work on the mission of the WSO, which is to be we're the only global voice of stroke. And we want to alleviate the burden of stroke around the world. We know that about 3/4 of all strokes now occur in the low and middle income countries, especially in Asia. And there it is an epidemic in its own right. And we already used this word because before there were other epidemics on our mind here now. And I think that to increase awareness, to promote prevention, and to install the therapy for acute stroke and enable rehabilitation, that's what's on our mind. The WSO also has world congresses every other year, which are now going to be annually. It has a highly reputed journal, which has a good impact factor and a reputation for picking up global issues. There is a huge activity in educational workshops, webinars, and so on, and regional scientific meetings. We have the World Stroke Day every year on October 29, and around this time we promoted the message, 1 in 4, don't be the one, which means that 1 of 4 adult people in their lifetime will suffer a stroke. So you can prevent that actively by looking at your risk factors and trying to modify them. And this was hugely well received, and there were a lot of activities and millions of hits in the social media. And this was celebrated on World Stroke Day in about 80 countries around the globe. Well, I think stroke physicians are, of course, mostly concerned about improving acute care, which is, of course, important. And there have been tremendous advances in this field in recent years, so that's all right. But in order to reduce the burden of stroke worldwide, prevention is the issue. So to prevent stroke is actually a major task that keeps us busy. We are accredited at the WHO as an NGO. We have the right to comment the documents and to speak there. And we are very active in promoting prevention. So there is an activity called Cut Stroke in Half, which is a very ambitious prevention campaign, which is now running in Brazil and in India. And it has the aim of actually reducing the incidence by half. So I think we are very active there, and it can be seen as a very ambitious and up to now successful project. Well, we're of course delighted if you attend the WSO Congress together with the ESO in November this year. And we're working very hard to make it a successful virtual Congress now, fully virtual Congress. But you will have the opportunity to meet and talk. There will even be coffee shops and encounter possibilities with professors. So it's not just a sterile accumulation of talks, so you can really get engaged and involved in this Congress. So we here at the Danube University in Krems in Austria, we are working very hard, as well as in other places, to make this a successful meeting, and we'll be delighted to see you there.